Welcome, everyone, to Phillips Arena. We're in Atlanta, Georgia, the home of the Hawks, where we'll be broadcasting live today. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA and all its great action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Our starting lineups will look at the matchups here and who we'll see for our starting five for both teams. And as we take a long look here at Kawhi Leonard, guys, what's your thought on him?
A very encouraging start to Leonard's career, Kevin. He's a tough defender, an excellent rebounder, and his offensive game expanded pretty quickly his rookie season as well.
I expect his offense to continue growing, too. His huge hands help him in that regard, Steve. Great nose for the ball, high rate of steals, an expert at stripping it away. And a one-game homestand for Atlanta as the Hawks will try to recharge their batteries on their home court.
Well, this is an important matchup for a lot of reasons, guys, but I know that coming into a game like this as a coach or as a player, you know in the back of your head, you've already been beaten twice this season. You do not want to take a third loss to the same team.
Well, in many ways, Steve, it's almost a must-win situation, and that should be plenty of motivation enough. I mean, they prepared for this game, the coaches and players. They understand the matchups, advantages and disadvantages. They've got a game plan at both ends of the floor. At the very least, they will come prepared to do battle. And because of that, I think it'll be very interesting to see how the approach unfolds in this one.
A nice shot by Teague.
Well, I tell you what, Greg Popovich, a really impressive leader for the Spurs. He's able to keep all of his players locked into what's best for the team. Has a military background, played basketball and studied at the Air Force Academy before serving 5 years in the Air Force. And you know some of the leadership that he brings to his position was learned from his past experiences.
Nobody near him. He'll normally make that one.
Let's send it over to Doris Burke, who caught up with head coach Mike Budenholzer. Doris?
Kevin, I asked what part of their offensive scheme he feels most confident in today, and he said it's probably the depth of perimeter shooting talent that they've got. He said our guys can flat out shoot it, and you're going to see it today. Gentlemen?
Thanks, Doris. Always want to get those threes falling consistently.
Yeah, Kevin, you're right, because that's really the only way that you can force the defense to spread out and extend itself, and when that happens, then other opportunities are created.
And Clark, you mentioned Pop's time at the Air Force Academy. That's where he got his start in the coaching ranks.
Yeah, 6 years as an assistant there. He was head coach at Pomona, an assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors and the Spurs, and eventually moved into the front office in San Antonio. But wow, what an amazing run it's been for him. 17 years as the head coach of the Spurs.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And as an 85% free throw shooter, his team has been able to count on him anytime he gets to the stripe.
You know, guys, that's not quite the same success rate he had at the line last year, although it is somewhat in the neighborhood of last year's numbers.
Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. As the playoffs near, let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings. Look at Indiana. And, of course, the Spurs tied up with them. And the Spurs making a change here. Ginobili's checked in. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first.
You know, the Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
Williams inside the line. They get the rebound. Passes it to Ontic. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Carroll dishes to Williams. Ball's knocked loose. Carroll passes to Matt. Left side Williams. 6 on the shot clock. Feeds to Carroll. Goes up again. 3-pointer. Rebounded by Manu Ginobili. And back to Popovich and the Spurs, he really makes a point of getting to know his players and have them get to know one another.
That's right, Kevin. He likes to have his players have a sense of perspective about the world. He wants them to know that there are other things going on besides the NBA. In fact, back in 2012, he had the players watching the presidential debates together.
Here's Green after the made shot from Ontic. Green kicks to Ginobili. And that is good. Ginobili's got his first 2 points.